Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Learning Hub. Today we discuss the security, which is the main concern for any IT infrastructure. So security is the combination of availability, confidentiality, and integrity. Availability is that the data is reliable only to the or available only to the authorized person. Confidentiality is the process of to prevent the data from unauthorized access. To prevent the data from an unauthorized access. Next is integrity is the duplication of data. Uh, as its name shows that it's non-functional attribute, but security is the main concern have to that we have to manage in our IT infrastructure architecture. So there are some computer crimes that are active in today's era. Reasons for committing crimes against IT infrastructures are their personal exposure, creating damage, financial gain, terrorism, and warfare. Now, risk management. Risk management is the managing security. Managing security for IT infrastructure is all about managing risk. Risk management is the process of determining an acceptable level of risk, then assessing the current level of the risk. Then we have to take the steps to reduce the risk to the acceptable level. Last one is maintaining that level. Risk list. Risk list can be quantify risk, can be used to quantify risk. Risk is calculated based on asset name. Asset names are the components that we need to be protected. Then vulnerabilities. There are the weakness, processes, or physical exposure that make the system assets that make the computer assets suspectable. Next is exploit. Exploit is a way to use one or more vulnerabilities to attack an asset. Probability. Probability is an estimation of the likelihood for the occurrence of exploit. Impact. Impact is the severity of the damage when the vulnerability is exploited. Next we have CIA model. CIA stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are the three core goals of the security for any IT infrastructure. Next, what is confidentiality? Confidentiality is to prevent our system or our data from unauthorized access, unauthorized disclosure of data. Integrity ensure that there is no modification, there is no duplication, there is no change occur in data, there is no unauthorized modification of data, and the data is consistent. There is no backup, there is no copy of data. Last one is availability. Availability ensures that data is available and reliable is and its access to the authorized person. Next we have attack vectors. Attack vectors include malicious codes, worms, viruses, Trojan horses. Malicious codes include that application when the application is activated, it causes the network and server overload. It overload the server, then steal all our data. It's also erase data, steal all the passwords or the data of the user. Next, worms. Worms are the self-replicating programs. They are self-replicating attack vectors that spread from one computer to another, and it leave the infection, or it leave the infection means it leave the damage to the computer when it transferring from one device to another. Next, virus. Virus is also a self-replicating program that it attaches itself to the computer or the program or the file, enabling it to spread from one computer to another. Next, Trojan horse, which is the most dangerous one. Trojan horse appears to be useful software. It seems like that the software is useful, but it's not useful. It is really actually damaging once it installed. Actually, we installed a program on the computer, and when we run it on the computer, it's damaged or it exploit our system. Next, we have attack vectors, which we discussed in next lecture. That's it for today. Thank you.